Hello, this is Druidsfire, and I'm here to talk about Magical Delicacy. It is a game that I got to do a little bit of a test drive of at PAX East 2024 at the Boston Convention Center. It is published by our good friends at Whitethorn Games. It is a primarily solo developed game by a company by the name of Skaule. And Skaule is game developer and illustrator Stephen Kahl from Hamburg, Germany. They have been making digital games since 2014, mostly on their own while they're studying illustration. And Magical Delicacy will be their very first commercially released game. And the soundtrack, which I really, really loved, was crafted by Dale North of Scarlet Moon Productions. Let's have a check out of the trailer from YouTube, shall we? Alright, let's talk about this game, and we'll look at the screenshots that I pulled off of Steam. So this game will be available later this year in 2024. You can wishlist it on Steam. It should be available day one with Xbox Game Pass, playable on Xbox Series S and X, and available obviously on Windows PC. It is primarily a controller-driven game, which I thought was really fascinating, but then also not too surprising, because it is being billed as a little bit of a Metroidvania in that you do have to run around up and down and, make various jumps and whatnot. And as you can see, it is a pixel art-based game that seems to be a growing a trend of a lot of the games that I checked out at PAX East. This one is very deep, and as you can see, it's very well polished in terms of the actual depth of the artwork, both in the foreground and in the background, and exactly, what's going on in the game. Now, basically, the story is that you're Flora, this young would-be witch, who is going to take over this this particular establishment and will become basically a magical witch chef of sorts. And she has her stove there that you can start off with and then beginning upgrading. There's recipes that you learn. You have a backpack that you take with you. You can improve that. And as you can see, there's a little bit of platforming going on there. And also, as you can see, there's magical things going on here. So there are magical beings you'll encounter, like this cat lady here. There are frogs that you can run across, as we saw in the trailer. And various other fantasy creatures and beings that you'll interact with. You'll talk to the various townsfolk. Sometimes you'll only find some of them at night. Sometimes you'll only find some of them at day. And also with some of the ingredients you'll be gathering up or trading for can only be acquired during certain times of the day. There's a little bit of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask in that sort of regard, that you have to do certain things at certain times, but not quite as intense, like you must go at this exact time. It's basically more of a day-night sort of dealio. And it's pretty chill, as you could hear from the soundtrack. It really isn't intended for it to be very frustrating. It's just a lot of stuff to be done. And again, as you can see from the artwork, it is really good. Even like something simple as all the herbs on the shelves behind the characters, or the skylight, the dome above that's, got that Victorian look. One thing I thought was interesting was that our focus character, the protagonist, Flora, is kind of dressed up kind of like a 1950s rocker. Like, honestly, kind of like somebody had been watching Grease lately and watched some of the ladies once they ditched their, ditched the skirts and the petty skirts for, rolled up blue jeans, a nice, sweater, and their hair tied up in it with a big bow. I thought that look was very interesting. It's like kind of like a little bit of a rebellious late 50s youth. It was really cool. So in general, I did personally find it a little bit difficult to determine, okay, I'm allowed to jump here. No, I'm not allowed to jump here. But there's no real penalty to dropping or to falling. You just have to go find, there's no like fall damage or anything. You just have to find your way back to where you're going. And sometimes it's not always obvious where you should be going. One thing I did get the feeling of when I was playing, the first Vania game I ever ran across was a long time ago. I was playing Castlevania 2. So I was getting a little bit of that vibe and how the characters were moving when they were running up and down the stairs and then turning to go up and down the various levels and jumping and whatnot. But beyond that, there wasn't much comparison. I mean, the artwork is just phenomenal. As you can see, I mean, this is so detailed. The foreground, the background, the little skylights up in the round dome. And overall, this is a really fun game. You can, again, find it. There is a demo available on Steam right now that you can download. It was only supposed to have been available till like February, but it's still there. So I say download it, grab your favorite controller, and have at it. We don't know when it's coming out. We don't know how much it's going to be. They haven't announced either of those. But at least for full controller support, they're talking about both Xbox and PlayStation. And when you download the demo, it'll actually show you a few different controllers available there. There are 7 supported languages. That would be English, French, German, Japanese, Simplified Chinese, Spanish, Latin America, and Traditional Chinese. So yeah, I say check this game out if this sounds like your jam. Great music, chill times. Very long, in-depth video game gameplay. And it's not just all fun and games. You do have a rival, so you do want to be careful and make sure that you win this rivalry. But there's no fisticuffs or anything, and eventually you become a witch of some renown. Alright, check out Magical Delicacy later this year. And, of course, you can check out the demo now on Steam and see if this is something you might want to play. If you toss a like to the video, thank you very kindly. And if you want to get more videos like this in your feed or my longer regular streamed gameplay sessions, you can toss a subscribe to the channel. And thank you very kindly. And have a great rest of your day.